Hello and welcome to ProTech. Today we're happy to share a video submitted by Andrea Palaia on how to replace the turn signal switch on a 2003 to 2008 Cadillac CTS. So if you're at home trying to figure out how to do it yourself, you've come to the right place. Let's check it out.
In this video, I use these tools to replace the turn signal switch. To start, make sure the vehicle is turned off. Pop the hood and disconnect the negative battery cable. Despite the battery being disconnected, there is still residual power left in the vehicle. Your airbag could deploy accidentally. You need to wait a period of time to make sure that all power has been drained from the vehicle. I waited 1 hour. Check your service manual for your vehicle. Turn your ignition key to run so that you can turn your steering wheel without it locking. On the back of the steering wheel there are 3 holes which you need to stick your screwdriver into and feel for a slot. The airbag has 3 spring-loaded pins with notches on them that lock the airbag to the steering wheel. By jiggling them, you're releasing them from the locked position. Jiggle your screwdriver in the slot until you feel the airbag detach from the steering wheel. After releasing all 3, the airbag can now be pulled away from the steering column, exposing the electrical connections. First, remove the ground wire. Then, using a screwdriver, flip the locks off the yellow connectors and pull them off. Next, disconnect the electrical connector that connects the steering wheel to the car. With all the electrical connections disconnected, remove the center nut holding the steering wheel to the steering column using a 13/16 socket. In this particular vehicle, you don't need any special tools to remove the steering wheel. Just tap lightly around the steering wheel and it should just pop off. Feed the electrical connections through the center hole of the steering wheel, then pull the steering wheel free. Next, we'll remove the lower steering wheel cover. First, remove the 2 fasteners holding the lower cover on. And then remove the key lock cylinder by sticking a T20 screwdriver in the hole adjacent to the lock cylinder and turn and pull. Lastly, pry the teeth apart along the seam of the upper cover. Now you can carefully remove the bottom cover. To remove the top cover, there is only 1 fastener and you'll need an E6 socket to remove it. turn signal switch is now fully accessible. I used a T20 screwdriver and a T20 socket to remove it. Next, disconnect the electrical connections on the turn signal switch body. There is one long wire that connects into the dash. To remove this connection, you'll need to take off the upper cover next to the gauge cluster. This cover just pulls off. Then disconnect this final connection. Now you can remove the old turn signal switch. With your new turn signal, first connect the wire connection in the dash. Then reconnect the remaining electrical connections on the switch body. Reattach the turn signal switch to the column. There are two T20 fasteners. Reattach the upper cover next to the gauge cluster. It just pushes right on. Reattach the upper steering wheel cover. There is one fastener and you'll need an E6 socket. Reattach the lower steering wheel cover by aligning the teeth with the upper cover. Then reattach the two T20 fasteners. Line up the lock cylinder with its hole grooves. It should slide right back into place. Pick up the steering wheel and feed the electrical connections through the center hole. Align the grooves on the steering wheel center hole with the grooves on the steering wheel column shaft, and push the steering wheel onto the column. Secure it by putting the 13/16 nut back on. Then reattach the electrical connections on the steering wheel. Reattach the two airbag electrical connections and the one ground wire. Then align the airbag with the steering wheel and push it into place until the pins click into position. To finish up, reconnect the negative battery cable. You can now test your new turn signal switch.